Hello, everyone. I just saw this. It's a long thread that Dayo Israel did. Dayo Israel is the youth leader, the national youth leader of APC. So this is the thing. I'm not going to go through all the long thread that he did, but a particular one amongst the thread, a particular tweet caught my attention. That's the part I'm going to, really focus on. Because if there's any way of politely saying that the 30 something, 32, is it 33 or 34, how many governors that APC has, the polite way of saying that they are useless to any election is the way that Dayo has put it. Well, he didn't put it in saying directly that there is, but the question he said was asked something like, who do they inspire? I've been saying this thing I've been saying it a lot, but of course it's Aisha Yusuf that says it. She's a Peter Obi supporter. It doesn't mean anything. This is coming from national youth leader of APC. I'm sure he must be extremely frustrated. He must be extremely frustrated for him, to come out and not only say this, to put it out as a trend. And he also talked about, which I didn't even talk about on Twitter, but I'm going to put that message out, where he talked about the disunity that is in APC and the quarrels that they had in Oshu that led also to all of this. But the thing he talked about here, he talked about the role that David Adeleke played, that is popularly known as, Davido. He said the third defining figure is Davido in that Oshun election. When it comes to Oshun election, Davido doesn't play. And there's one thing about the Adele case, for me that I find very intriguing, interesting, and, something that people should imbibe is their unity in terms of standing by each other and for each other. It doesn't matter whether they have their quarrels at home and all of that. Families have quarrels and stuff, but you see that unity where they stand with each other in everything that they do. You're seeing them coming out, being all out, and just, standing there. That is really inspiring. And then I'm looking at it, I'm thinking of, I come from also a huge family on my mother's side, the Amebenomos family. When my grandfather died, he left over 40 children that were still alive, right? And today I meet people that it's in the conversation that we are cousins. I'm talking about first cousins that you don't know them, they don't know you. There was one time me and someone was quarreling on she was quarreling with me, rather. She's a supporter of Buhari. That was 2016, coming after me, insulting me, abusing me, telling me how my family, I'm a disgrace to my family. And I saw her name was Amebenom, and I said to her, if you are so her little Amebenom's granddaughter, I'm your family, so I'm the disgrace to all of you. And she reached out, she was like, and all of that. So when you see families that are able to work together, I really respect that. So that's something. He said Davido did not treat his role as symbolic. He was placed at the center of youth mobilization and used his influence, networks, music, digital reach, and personal credibility to connect the campaign to a generation. He brought artists, influencers, and young voices into the process. Alongside emerging political and professional actors such as Pelumi Olajengbesi, he helped give the campaign a youthful, energetic, and culturally resonant face. At the end of the day, the youth are the face of campaign, especially in Nigeria of today, because the youth have the number, they have the energy, they have the credibility, they have the technical know-how, they are tech savvy, they have capacity to mobilize, they also have capacity to raise funds. These are, Nigerian youth have never been this blessed until this generation, and they make impact. And sometimes, if you don't understand the power that you have, you end up losing it. And I do agree, yes, sometimes you need someone that is able to resonate and bring all of that together. He said, why the opposition deliberately, and this is the national youth leader of APC, say, why the opposition deliberately activated its most recognizable young figures, our party largely relied on a structure dominated by governors, senators, and former office holders. These leaders are important, he said, but we must ask a hard question. How many young Nigerians do they genuinely inspire, mobilize, or emotionally connect to? That's the part I was telling you. I said, on this election, these people are useless. They're as useless as the P in psychology. You understand? Because they are not, in short, they are a liability, they are baggage. Many people are angry at these governors, many people are angry at these senators, many people are angry at the policies, the suffering they've made people go through, and all of that. And they are the face of those campaigns. What do you think is going to happen? Anyway, let me not loud it too much. Let them continue with those governors. So when people are coming to say, APC have that, APC have 30-something liabilities, not 30-something governors. Yeah, they are governors by name, but they are liability to the campaign. They're not going to mobilize anyone. In short, even those who even think, whether even they think about the Tinubu matter, when they see those governors, those are the things that will vest them and say they are not doing. He now say, who are the Davidos in APC? Who are the young men and women within our movement who are willing to put their influence, creativity, reputation, and networks visibly on the line for the party? And when we find them, do we empower them or only remember them at election time? Now they're asking the questions, you understand? Sure, they were mocking the campaign that youth have been leading, have been giving voices, faces. All these questions that he asked, if you come to Mr. Peter Obi's campaign, you will see a lot of youth that have been given that visibility. You know, they are mobilized, they've been out there just because they have what they have to give to the nation is recognized. Unlike this party where it's about, oh, who is governor, who is not governor, who are you? They only bring them to do e-toggery on election. They are all over social media doing e-toggery up and down. He said, I raised these questions from experience, not hindsight. During the 2022 Osun governorship election, I traveled across communities and engaged stakeholders across divides. I met Alhaji Moshood Adeoti in Iwo, as well as other former party leaders who broke away and worked through reconciliation efforts that were not optional but essential. So they have people who broke away. So the question is this: if Tinubu cannot take care of his party, people are breaking. How is he going to take care of the election? Of course, we have seen that he cannot even take care of Nigeria or anything. It is when Labour Party are having this Labour Party, APC, DC, NDC, whatever. Peter Obi cannot. The one that I tell you, what of Tinubu that is there, has he? Anyway, he said, when an emergency meeting of the National Working Committee was convened during the campaign, the then national women leader, her deputy, and I traveled to Abuja and returned immediately by a personally funded chartered flight to continue field operations. We spent weeks engaging stakeholders and mobilizing communities. On election day, I was in the situation room at the government. What about that guy? He didn't that he promised Tinubu 3.5 million votes. They say I should not stop talking about him. Okay, but you know the guy sharp. We received real-time reports from agents across polling units. By midday, it was clear from our field intelligence that the contest was slipping away, driven by a combination of inducement reports, local tension, and structural weaknesses in our mobilization. We did not lose 2022 because there was no effort. We lost because division, weak reconciliation, and fragmented mobilization overwhelmed, that effort. So is he talking about 2022 now or this one of 2026? Okay, yeah. We did not lose 2020, but there was no effort. Okay, say then there was no effort. We lost because division, weak reconciliation, and fragmented mobilization overwhelmed that effort. 4 years later, some of those lessons remain unlearned. I understand that some individuals are reportedly, these people focus on rigging. Rigging is what APC know how to do. If you stop their rigging, nothing. And that is what every one of us must ensure that we are doing, stopping every one of those rigging as it is done. He said, I understand that some individuals had reportedly been working for months before this election, yet the constitutionally recognized National Youth Wing was not meaningfully engaged. Even when I personally reached out and offered support, I was referred to an individual who promised to call me. I reached out again, but that call never came. This is not about individuals. It is about institutional culture that sidelines its own structures while relying on ad hoc arrangements during election. No organization that disregards its own constitutional organs can consistently win complex statewide contests. It is also important to state a difficult but necessary truth. Since the inauguration of the campaign council, the National Working Committee did not meet to formally review progress, assess strategy, or recalibrate direction. In any serious political organization, that absence of structured oversight is not a minor administrative gap, it is a strategic weakness. The National Youth Wing should not be activated only to fill stage. Oh, no. If it was an Aisha for anyone saying this, we say, after all, this is someone bringing it as it is. The National Youth Wing should not be activated only to fill stadiums or sidelines for support groups. A women's wing should not be reduced to decoration at rallies. These are political structures with constituencies that must be organized, engaged, and deployed as part of a deliberate strategy. Our rallies must also evolve. In earlier circles, the national women leader and national youth leader had defined roles in energizing crowds and speaking directly to their constituencies at our rallies. Today, many rallies have become sequences of speeches by political elites with little structured engagement of the constituencies that actually determine turnout and enthusiasm. This is someone frustrated pouring out his this thing. If of course APC does not even have competence, character, capacity, and APC are not on the same page, I would have said if APC was a serious party, this is someone they will really sit down with, because this is a cry from the heart. It's really talking about the things that are not working there. But anyway, for me and you is the fact that these are people who are not doing the things that they're supposed to do. So when you see them, APC don't get anything. They only rely on rigging. And if you stop that rigging, you will stop the nonsense. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.